This is the E&M Audio Media Show. I am Earl Johnson Jr., better truly known as the healing voice of the world, along with Mark Professor Williams. This show is truly designed to give you the true value of having your own audio media show with us and so much more. Now let's get on with the show.
Welcome back to another edition of the E&M Audio Media Services Show. I'm your co-host, Professor Mark, along with my fellow co-host, the healing voice of the world, Mr. Earl Johnson Jr.
Hey everybody, welcome you back to the E&M Audio Media Service Show, guys. Guys, we've been away for a minute, but we are back, and back to what? To get you into what? Having your own audio show with us and listening to all of the great shows that we have available for you with us here at the E&M Audio Media Services Show. But Professor Mark is going to tell you how to get in contact with us. Professor Mark, tell them how they can get in contact with us.
Well, like my fellow co-host said, we're glad to be back. It's been a little while, but you're going to be hearing a lot more content from us on this show and many other shows that we got in the pipeline. But as Brother Earl, the healing voice, mentioned, you can reach us at mediaem04@gmail.com. That is media, em04@gmail.com. Send us your ideas, send us any feedback, send us whatever you want. We've lamented before. We're ready and eager and waiting to help you start your podcast, help it grow, develop it, nurture it, and make it the best podcast show out there. Look, we got the equipment, we've got the skill set. You heard our content, you hear our shows, we're ready to work with you and, have this blow up. I've been watching a lot of great content, when I'm not working. Brother Earl and I've been working real hard on campaigns and different things. So now campaign season, we're back at it. But, I was doing my binge watching of different TV shows, and I was watching the Penguin. Excellent show. Recommend you watch it. But I've been seeing, especially on HBO, when they have a show, they'll also at the end, I can't remember if it's the end or beginning, they'll actually show that they have a podcast to go along with the show. And this is just further proof that these things work. HBO, these major corporations would not be investing in a companion podcast if these things weren't working, if there wasn't any interest. So that's further evidence to put in your idea, whatever it is. They have a damn podcast about the Penguin, about TV shows, about Marvel, whatever it is. That idea is not too small, it's not too insignificant, because there's a niche or a large audience that is willing to not only listen, but to pay to listen to your content. So reach out to us at media, em04@gmail.com. Brother Earl, why don't you let them know what we're going to be talking about today, and let's get into it.
Yeah, that sounds good, guys. Guys, we're going to talk about the importance of having your own audio show with us. It's about reaching the mass of the public. You know what I'm saying? Because, listen, if you have a product, service, or just simply want to distribute out information, this is where you need to be in order to do that, right? And it's a lot of things that we do differently. Most people who are setting up and doing podcasts or showing people how to do podcasts is simply only helping you with the mechanical part of it, right? But not us. We also do that, but we give you the personality training. We give you the host training. We give you all of those things to make you highly successful, and people will gravitate to you, your product, your service, or your simple information. Teaching you about your voice, right? Your voice is so important. Don't you think so, Professor Mark?
As you said it, I was like, that's exactly the correct, verbiage. People teach you the mechanics.
Yes.
How to the mic, plugging it in, the technical aspect of it. But to me, it's just like we lamented on another show, a political show, about campaigns that people can not go through. I don't want to say go through the motions, but they will teach you the mechanics. Do this, do that. That's how it works. But it's one thing to teach mechanics. It's another thing to be able to teach and teach well how to actually do. There's one thing in teaching, and then there's doing, and we do both. We teach you, prepare you to do, but also how to do, and how not just get on there and saying your thing, put it out, and you get what you get. But we're preparing you to really be a great content creator, really know how to speak, to educate, to not motivate, but to inspire and get people into the content that are going to be coming back for more and are going to be willing to not only listen, but to hit like so you get money through YouTube, through the algorithm, but also take it to Patreon, and then people are paying there as well. And eventually you get big enough, then you're able to do merchandise. You're able to get paid to be, an expert, a public speaker on whatever, large or small or pop culture niche, content you're going into. So there's so many opportunities to take this to the next level. Brother Earl and I have been, working and talking about different projects, different content that's coming up. We're going to be trying to get that out there to you. But, this show is about you. It's about educating you, enlightening you about our services, about why it's so important to have a podcast. So, Brother Earl, let them know, what we're going to be talking about today, and then let's get into these topics and get to it.
Sounds good, guys. Guys, we're going to really talk about why it is so important. Here we going into 2025, coming up in actually, less than 40 days or something like that? Maybe 45 days.
About that, yeah.
Yeah, about 45 days before we be in a new year, guys. And guess what? Doing the same old thing is only going to get you more of the same old thing, right? You're trying to reach the masses of public people who you're trying to introduce your product, your services, or your information to. And what better way to do it is to do it with an audio podcast, right? And let's get off into that. Why is it so important? Well, we kind of understood that in this new era, in this new 21st century, all the new things they have going on, it's like going from the radio to the television and combining both of those things to going from the old buggy and carriage horse to a Ferrari, and it's our time to experience all the great tools we have today to make our lives better. But not only make our lives better, if you have a business, if you have some service or things of that nature, or just simply want to get out your information, I keep saying it, it's important that you be in this great vast communicational world of audio podcasting with us. Because building your audience is not only that, but you're building your pocketbook. Right?
Brother, I just came to my mind. Often these things pop in my mind. I was hearing, I know people might be, depending on your persuasion, depressed or elated about the election, but I was watching some coverage, and all throughout the election, you were hearing about all these different podcasts that both Harris and Trump are going on. With Trump, it was Joe Rogan, and we know Joe Rogan has a huge platform. And again, campaigns, businesses are not investing in these things if they think there's going to be a low return. So these podcasts work. On the Harris side, it was Call Her Daddy. And then, people are getting all up in arms about how the money was spent with the Harris campaign. And someone went through, the expenditure, with the FEC. And they were saying that, they paid $100,000 just to recreate the Call Her Daddy studio. For the government, $100,000 just to recreate the studio.
Mm-hmm.
So they're doing that for the studio. What are these people getting paid to actually host this thing? So that just goes, there is big money in this when you have a large enough platform. I remember at the DNC that they hired all these different influencers to be able, they brought them in and gave them access. And these are people who were podcasters too. This stuff is real. There's money to be made if you have good content. Look, politics isn't everyone's thing, but around campaign season, people are tuning in. So even if you were just a political podcaster and you were able to go in during this convention, the money you will be able to make. They went on podcasts that had nothing to do with politics because they had such a large and wide audience that they're really trying to target to get their message out to. So again, there's no reason these people are spending $100,000 just for the damn set, are going to talk to Joe Rogan, who has I don't know how many millions of listeners, if these things are not consequential and don't work. This works. This is a viable opportunity for you. So you need to reach out to us at emedia, em04.media, em04@gmail.com, and get that idea into us. Stop waiting. Stop procrastinating. We're going to be in a new year. Get that idea and let's make it happen.
Yeah. And it's MEDIA.
Did I get it wrong?
em04@gmail.com.
Okay, no, hold on. Let me say it again. Say it again. I know it's been a while since we stepped away, but let me correct myself. Mm-hmm. How the hell can I be a professor if I can't even say that correctly? MEDIAEM04@gmail.com.
There it is. There it is right there, guys. Guys, it is so important to be in the 21st century using all the best tools that we have, and audio podcasting is one of them. Now, here's the thing about it. I know Professor Mark is talking about politics, but one party used it as to they cut their usage of having people knocking on doors to put more time into small podcasts, moms and pop podcasts, and all of those things, so apparently they came out on the winning side. So so learning to use the great tools of audio podcasting and podcasting in general will create a successful ending, because it's where everybody is. It's just like the bank robber. We say this all the time. The bank robber was asked by a news reporter, "Why do you guys rob banks? Silly fool. That's where the money is." So you have to be where people are. The public would like to hear about your service, your product, your information. But if you're not distributing it in the right way, you limit your ability to make money. You limit your ability to get access to the public, to the general public. So don't do that. Come with us. Let us help build, produce your show. But not only that, we take you. We train you on personality. We train you on how to host, how to be that best host that you possibly can be, that people will gravitate to you, your product, your services. Next thing you know, hey, this has become your full entire business right here. And this business, audio podcasting, will make you more money than, I guess, your products or services. But you know what? It is best to get in it than to not be in it. And you can be in it by contacting us, right, Professor Mark?
Absolutely. And you contact us at MEDIAEM04@gmail.com. That is media, EM04@gmail.com.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. Absolutely. Because don't be afraid of we'll teach you everything on the mic. Sometimes people, I don't know about the mic. I'm afraid of the mic.
Some people say, can we just do 5 minutes?
Yeah, I know a few people like that. Can we just do 5 minutes? Hey, whatever works. But that will not work when you're doing these audio shows, guys. You got to be on point here. And we teach you the whole 9 yards of everything, guys. So you'll know. And then whatever products and service that you have, you'll be able to reach people. Do you know your audio podcast reach people all over the world? I want to say it again. Your audio podcast reach people all over the world. I never would have imagined in my life when I started actually doing this years ago. And then guess what happened? I started getting emails back from people in South America, South Africa, Australia, London, England. I was like, whoa, I got this kind of reach. This kind of reach is being done with an audio podcast. You'd be surprised, guys, how many people want your product, your services, and things of that nature. And never be unlimited. Have an unlimited mindset where you can reach people all the world, because again, people will want your products, your services, and stop limiting yourself and come along with us. Contact us for your free consultation that we will give you about that, and explore your situation, what you want to do and how you want to expand your business. If you have a business, expand it and expand all the things that you can do with it with an audio podcast. Build that personality. Next thing you know, you have that winning personality, and you'll be going out training people from us. How do you do this stuff? So we want to make sure that everybody expand, increase all of the things that they have to do in this upcoming year. So be in it to win it with us here at E&M Audio Media Services. We have so much that we want to train you, host your shows, produce your shows, and do all these things, But first, again, Professor Mark, don't you think people must have vision?
I mean,
they got to be able to see it in their own mind.
They do. I mean, before you, like I said, we want you to sending your ideas, and that requires you to have an idea. have a thought, and as we've lamented before on other shows, this show, past episodes, I mean, there are so many things you can talk about right now. Literally, right, we're talking, I'm looking at a plant. There's people out there who are arborists, or people who, plant, and, gardening is their big thing. That's your thing. Then you should be talking about planting plants and starting gardens. What goes to my mind is you do real well, and next thing you know, Home Depot and Lowe's is, knocking on your door competing for you to get on there, because if you build up such a massive audience, those are people who got to go shop somewhere, and more likely than not, they're going to shop at Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace, or whatever mom and pop is around in the area, and they're able to partner with you, and they buy an ad time, or you're coming into the store and working with them and talking about different products and services, so you can entice entice business for them. It's not just you scaling up your mom and pop podcast, we'll say right now, but you could be partnering with major corporations. I'm looking at a table. That makes me think of all the people who are like DIYers who put together stuff. Maybe you do a podcast about DIY. Everybody's in the DIY, and again, people go and get their DIY stuff from what? Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace. So that's another way. I'm looking at TV, all kind of programs. I just mentioned The Penguin, which is excellent. All of these different shows and movies and anime, they have major audiences. Someone is going to want to hear you talk about that. I mentioned before, there's all of these like Star Wars and Star Trek. These people have hundreds of thousands of views and hundreds of thousands of followers. You get into that category, then you're getting monetized on YouTube, and then you're able to do a Patreon, and then you're able to do, fanboy type stuff, and, next thing you know, you're partnering with Comic-Con, and then, there are just so many opportunities for you to take what you may consider, niche or something that maybe people will listen to, maybe they won't. There is an audience for every voice. Somebody out there is willing to listen to it, and not only listen to it and help you through monetization on a platform like Facebook or Google, whatever, but also they'll go to your Patreon, and then they'll pay you to listen. They'll pay for you to just talk about Star Trek, Star Wars, IKEA, the damn sky, whatever pops in your mind. There's somebody out there who will listen to it. So Absolutely. All you need to do is send in that idea to MEDIA, I spelled it right for this time, em04@gmail.com. And as Brother Earl said, we're not just here to teach you the mechanics, to teach you, how to work the board, what mics to get, how to set things up, the computer laptops you need to run the different programs, the editing, all that kind of stuff, which is important. You need that. You have to have the skill set to put this together if you want it to be very professional. But also, you guys have heard me, think about the first episode, you heard me, and now as I progressed and got more comfortable on the mic, I'm proof that you can be taught these skills. Brother Earl, that voice, you're born with a voice like that. So,
Absolutely.
This is Barry White Jr. over here, so he's good, but not all of us are born with a voice like that. So we have to learn how to develop our skill set of speaking and pronunciation, how things work, and then how to take this whole pack and put it together into a product that people will be willing to buy. So anyone can just go out there, get on a mic, blah, 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 blah. And like Brother Earl says, bore people. Watching wet paint dry would be more interesting. And no one's going to listen to your shit. No one's going to listen. But if you do it correctly and reach out to us at MEDIA, I spelled it right again, em04@gmail.com, we'll help you develop not only the technical skills. If you don't want to do it, we can do it for you. Look, we've done it before. Some of these episodes you listen to, we weren't even all together. Brother Earl's here, I'm there, Kendra's there, someone else is there. You didn't have to be in the same. Hell, Brother Earl just talked about people are listening to him in other countries. They can listen to him in other countries. They can call in and we can produce the show. So there's no excuse for you not taking that kernel of an idea, developing it, sending us a simple email, and us communicating and getting this thing going.
Absolutely, guys. Hey, we just had a fight the other night, which was good. Friday night, that was the Mike Tyson fight, guys. So we don't want to make sure this is a time situation, but Mike Tyson was fighting Jay Paul fight. A 58-year-old guy was taking on a 27, 28-year-old guy. And things of that nature. Do you know how many people created their podcast for the first time just talking about that fight? Like Professor Mark was saying, a podcast could be about anything, but the reason why it's important to do it is because there is an audience for everything.
Look, Brother Earl, you mentioned that.
Yeah.
We were just talking. There's a guy, I'm thinking because Brother Earl's like, I think I made a mistake earlier. You don't say other people's podcasts and give them, the glory and everything.
Right.
So I will not say, I've thought about that. And I was like, I shouldn't have done that. I will not say the gentleman's name, but if you go on and Google enough, you'll be able to see his content. I'll say his first name, Joe, and then blank. He does these sports documentaries that I really enjoy. And, Brother Earl was talking about the Paul Tyson fight. And this guy does excellent sports documentaries about all the different sports. And I really particularly like his boxing content. Like I watched one about Sonny Liston, about Mike Tyson, Sugar Ray, all kinds of boxers. And they're just really well done. And what I like is he's taking his voice and marrying it with, commercially available footage. But the thing that I love so much, his skill set, is his voice is good, but it's how he edits and weaves all these narratives together. And he takes existing things, combines them, and he makes something new. And that's what we can do for you. We can take your existing talent, the mechanics, and weave it together, and you'll be making excellent content. And this guy has hundreds of thousands, I think some of them, millions of views that people listen to this, and he's just speaking. Okay, you don't even see him. Now you see images of fights and stuff like that, but you don't see his face. And I know his stuff is monetized. That's how easy it is. Like Brother talking about boxing. Okay, and this guy, I don't even know if this guy's a boxer or not, but I sure know he knows how to put things together and make it very entertaining. And you can do that if he can do that about boxing, you can do that about racing. You can do that about DIY putting furniture together. One of the other things is, there's people who, want to shit on cities, so they go to the worst part of the cities and just record and give commentary. All they do is sit in their car, and there are just so many myriad of ways where you can get a topic, just give your opinion. You don't even have to be an expert, and people be like, "Yeah, this is good stuff. This is good stuff," and I will keep listening. I will hit like and I will subscribe. I will continue to watch. The algorithm will eventually, on Twitter, whatever, recommend it. More and more people are seeing it. And then I'll get a Patreon, and then people will pay there. That's all you need to do. Just stop procrastinating. Like Brother Earl said, the Healing Voice said, we're going into a new year. We're going into 2025. Don't you think it's time that you finally sent that email? Don't you think it's time you finally took that ID and monetized it? You could still be working your job, do this, eventually blow up, and you don't have to do it. There's people out there, this is what they do. They're just podcasting. And they make a very good living and income off of it. So we're going to 2025. Let's make that change.
Absolutely, guys. Let's make that change. Do something different if you want things to go differently, right? You want things to go positively different. Then you have to do something different. This will widen your information of who you are around the world, right? Doing the same old thing is only going to get you, again, the same old thing. So stretch out with us here at E&M Audio Media Services. Do something differently, guys. Make it happen. Again, I cannot see someone having a business and not implementing this into their business. It's just kind of like make me think that they don't want to grow. You want to just be nonchalant, right?
Brother Earl, I can't see any political campaigns who don't want to implement this to their campaign.
I'm here to tell you on that. That's absolutely right, guys. So again, think of being the GOAT. The greatest of all time, right? You don't want to be the guy sitting on the end of the bench like they have basketball, and he's just there just in case we don't have enough bodies to go into the game.
Well, Brother Earl, I don't know. If he's getting paid $1 million to sit on his ass on the bench, I might take him up on that. I might take him up.
Well,
but in general, yes, I get you.
Yeah, you don't just want to sit on the bench with you and you have so much excitement about your product, your service, or your information. You want to be able to distribute that information around the world and get so many people who are in agreement with you, who want to be your fan. Remember, you collect fans and people want to be a part of something. So you're creating something that's gonna excite people around the world. that people are going to be your fans. And when you create that type of thing, then you're going to have people wanting to spend their money with you, right? Because they believe in your product, your service, or they believe in your information.
It's true with Earl. There's another. See, I'm not gonna say the name. See, I was getting ready to do it.
Don't do it.
I'm learning. Don't do
it.
There's a content creator, and his thing is about black men and traveling, and I watch him, and I've seen him go from like a couple of thousand subscribers, and now he's up to like 70, almost 80,000. It's been like a couple of years, but you just seen the steady growth. And he'll mention, like, he'll go overseas, and people in other countries will recognize him. Especially other black men who are traveling to these places. And it's just amazing to see that you can start off with basically nothing on these platforms and grow. And you will get to a point where you're going to other countries, not your native country, and people, locals, and then other people traveling there will recognize and be like, I subscribe, I watch your stuff. That to me, that's mind blowing, and just goes to show you what you said. Other people in other countries are listening. I mean, look, especially if you're someone from the United States. We're a major exporter of pop culture, of culture in general. That's one of our great exports. So people listen to what we say. People listen and care about our ideas, our knowledge, our culture. So you're going to get people who really are interested in what you have to say. So just make that, as Brother Earl, that's going to be the mantra. Make that change. Build that podcast.
With us.
Let's do it. We're here.
Yeah, guys. So pay attention, and attention will pay you. That's how it works, guys. So don't be fearful of anything. A lot of people, again, we don't want the majority of people to just sit on the sideline and soak in other people's media, right? Because then you become a person who's not creating. You just soaking up other people's media, right? You're making them rich, right? And it's time for you to get off the couch, step into this arena with us, and let's build off of your business, your products, your services, or your information, and let's make you rich, right? One thing I was always taught, right? Coming from Louisiana, they always tell us, you can't pass a job on, but you can pass a business on to your family, right? And this can be your business, right? Learning to get the training, learning to do something differently, learn to be the best that you can be will create a dynamic audio podcast from us. You'll learn all the great tools, right? And we will produce everything of your show. You don't have to worry about it. All I want you to do is learn to be the best you that you can possibly be. And we're going to train you on that, right? And then we get creative because we start creating show ideas, winnable show ideas that's going to really have you in success mode, right? You'll learn how to stay in success mode all the time. So listen, when you come to us, you're going to get so much training, so much mind training, so much physical training on these things, right? You're going to learn how to use your positive personality to have that winning moment and to create a fan base that's willing to go wherever you go to make things happen. Here at E&M Audio Media Service. Tell them one more time how they can reach us.
All right, I'm gonna spell it correctly, so don't get worried about it. MEDIAEM04@gmail.com. That is mediaem04@gmail.com.
Absolutely, guys. So do not be afraid to step in this media with you. Hey, you see how relaxed I feel? I feel so relaxed.
Don't I sound relaxed?
Yeah. See, we totally relax, guys, and that's how you're going to be on the mic, right? Learning to really be a people person. You'll learn how to be a people person, right? You can't just talk like wet paint drying or something. You have to create.
Hold on, brother. Let's not discourage, because maybe there's somebody who wants to make a podcast about wet paint drying. So
well, we're not good. Subject matter is okay, but remember, when it comes to everything, it's simply creating the best of you, the best you that you possibly can be through learning all of these fantastic tools that we can train you here at E&M Audio Media Service. Email us so we can talk to you and set up a time where we can contact you, and then we'll talk about it. Because again, stretch out, do something differently. Let life bring the greatest gifts to you, instead of you sitting back and waiting on Santa Claus, and Santa Claus will be here shortly, but I guarantee you won't get the right present that you're looking for because you have to create it, right? So let's take creativity, show ideas that you have available. Let's talk about that and start creating them as an audio podcast here with us at E&M Audio Media Services. Professor Mark, we're getting ready to get up out of here. What last things you got to tell?
I mean, it's time. It's time. That idea you have, that niche market that you want to serve, it's time to build that podcast. All you have to do is reach out to us. As Earl said, we have all the equipment, but more important than the equipment, we're able to actually train you to be a host. I mean, I'm sure there's other companies out there saying I can train. They're talking about the mechanics. That's what they're talking about. They're not talking about the mechanics plus the actual training. And if they are, go and listen to them, because I guarantee, as Brother Earl likes to say, that they can't bring it to you like we can. There's no one out there doing it like us.
Yep.
There's no one out there doing it like us that has the experience. I mean, just listen. Go back and listen to the podcast and see how they evolved. Just me alone listening to my progression from that quip earlier about just doing 5 minutes to now we can do. I mean, we probably talk 8 hours, stuff like that.
Absolutely.
But it is time to make that change in 2025. So send us that email and let's get it started.
Absolutely, guys. So again, contact us here at E&M Audio Media Services. Guys, you know how to contact us. We done put it into this show so many times. So make sure that you contact us. Let's get your show going. It is important that you do things differently in order to make things happen differently, guys. You can't do the same old soup. No longer is that going to be tolerated unless you don't want to grow. And I want to see you grow in the best way here with us here at E&M Audio Media Services, guys. Guys, we're getting ready to get out of here to our next show. Please pay attention. We got so many different shows for you here. Pay attention to us and listen to our other shows. You're going to learn a lot. A lot of those shows are training, informational shows, and so many things that we got for you. Coming in 2025, you'll be surprised at things we're gonna be doing for you. All kind of different shows.
Surprise
guys.
in 25.
Surprise in 25, guys. Guys, here's what I want you to do. Give us a contact, give us a call. Not call, but email us, and then we'll call. Then we'll talk. But here's the thing. Let's do something different. Let's create something, guys, that's going to be a great thing for you in your life. And let's do it here with us at E&M Audio Media Services, guys. Guys, till our next show, here's what I want you to do. Go out and have a great day on purpose and contact us. Right, Professor Mark?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. We are out, guys. Till our next show. Have a great one.
Hey, are you a candidate, a political consultant, an organizer, or just a volunteer? Then this is the show for you. The art of highly successful, practical, commonsensical political communication. Political Campaign Success 1. Join us and listen to the masterful art of political communication and so much more. You can find the show at www.patreon.com/Political Campaign Success 1. That's the number 1. Again, www.patreon.com/Political Campaign Success 1. And you can also email us at tahspc@gmail.com. tahspc@gmail.com. A winning campaign can be achieved through effective communication and the right mindset. Join us now. This is an E&M Audio Media Services show. Hey, you have a great idea for an audio media show? What are you waiting for? Bring it to us at E&M Audio Media Services. E&M Audio Media Services is ready to produce, develop, and take your talent to the next level. Reach out to us at media media04@gmail.com. I'll say that again, mediaem04@gmail.com. Reach out to us today and let us produce your show for tomorrow. Hey everyone, it's Professor Mark. First, I want to say thank you for listening to all of our great content. We have a couple more shows I want to put you up on and looking forward to you listening to them as well. First, we have the Master Communicator Show. You can find that at www.patreon.com/the Master Communicator Show. I'll say that again, www.patreon.com/the Master Communicator Show. We also have our first show, the E&M Audio Media Show. It's available on all your streaming platforms and podcasting platforms out there. Looking forward to you listening to those shows as well, and the many shows we continue to make in the future. This is from E&M Audio Media Services. Thanks.
This is Earl Johnson Jr., better truly known as the healing voice of the world, along with Mark Professor Williams. We want to say thank you so much for listening to E&M Audio Media Service Show. To contact us for your free consultation or any other questions that you may have, email us at mediaem04@gmail.com. Again, mediaem04@gmail.com. Be looking out for so many other shows that we have for you that are coming soon. Again, thank you so much for listening to the show, and you continue to have a fantastic day.